And when the days were counted and divided, the Fae had many seasons, because the fairy courts could not be reconciled. The dragons took the season a breath for their breath, and the gods had their season also. The year of time was 7 seasons, and the reckoning of days 364. But there was another season that was nothingness, and another day that was not. You have exited the meeting of the Senate of Megaros, and you have moved outside to the somewhat tumultuous crowds of the dispersing Senate. Others have gathered around the place to hear news or to deal with senators that they usually work with in their various entourages. And there's a general commotion. The gods disperse also from the mural above that overlooks the Senate. It is the very end of Winter's Heart. And tomorrow will be Void's Edda. This is something that you definitely have experienced, because it's something that happens every year. However, this is your first time doing so in a major city. However, typically your tribe on Void's Edda, they douse all of the campfires and tent fires, and instead the only fire that burns is the camp's bonfire. And it is a day that you tend to stay indoors and, or in tents, I guess. Well, those tents typically have doors, though. So I guess previously established canon of... Anyway, back on track. The point is that you have experienced Void's Edda, and typically the Festival of Sorrow is celebrated with staying indoors, having dinners, and generally not much activity outside. That said, Megaros is a different place with a different culture, and you also can do whatever you'd like. So as you lay down to rest that night, you can feel the familiar feeling of the change of season as it passes over to Void Edda. And there's a general feeling of, I won't say an eeriness in the air. It's more like a looming, not necessarily ominous, but you can feel a difference on Void's Edda.
What season is it like again? Winter, you said?
This is just after Winter's Heart.
And what is that? Like the middle of winter?
Yeah, so you're at the very tail end of winter.
Sick.
So it'll be roughly equivalent to springtime soon.
Okay, so since it's Void's Edda, then what time of day is it?
Night.
So assuming you don't have anything to do that day, you're able to go back to your house and spend the night there. And whenever you choose to leave the house is, it's totally up to you.
Okay. Anya's gonna go take the little dwarf man that I forgot his name, and we're gonna go do the Void's Edda rituals that we have to do. Which may or may not require dancing naked under the moon, but, I digress.
Ah, yes. You take Nedrick, the
The
gnomish
gnome.
companion to the party, to dance naked in the moonlight. But what about our horse warriors? What would you like to do on this Void Zeta Eve?
I'm going to. Tamir is standing outside the house, draped in thick furs, with a cup of ale, as he sips on it and ponders, looking at the stars.
I thought you were gonna say Ponder's looking at Anya. I was like, wow.
Wow.
Watching different stars for now.
Shoot. Oh my gosh. The only name coming to my mind right now is Electra, and that's not right.
Altani.
Oh, Donnie, thank you.
Yeah, Altani is your current character.
Yeah, I know.
Electra died.
I
Whoa.
know.
She didn't even survive that campaign.
Woof. War flashbacks. Anyway. Altani, I feel like takes a few minutes to stand next to her brother, and also has her own mug of ale. And then after standing there for a couple of minutes, she's like, well, this is awkward. Chugs the rest of her ale and ditches him to go, like, take a walk. And basically just, like, wander by herself just to kind of take in. She's trying to, like, get a feel for the city and also just, like, trying to get a better sense of direction, get her bearings a little bit better in the area that they're staying in. And so she's just kind of, like, pensively by herself, just walking around, wandering, just trying to take in the night and the people, if there are any out.
As the midnight hour turns, you are watching the sky dancing beneath the moon, and the moon dims greatly at the turning of the hour, and the stars seem to shimmer more fervently, despite not giving more light. And you could swear for a minute that the moon bore a face in it. And you can feel the change of season as you pass into Void Zeta.
Is this all of us? Because we're all outside.
Correct. Everyone except Altani. Altani, you just had the feeling.
I thought
She's
she went
outside. I'm walking around the streets.
Oh, I thought you went back inside after you downed your
No,
ale.
I said this is boring, and I walked away from him to walk the town streets.
Oh, got you. My bad. Well, is there anything else you'd like to do before sleeping then? On this evening? The streets are empty, utterly
Do
empty.
people not usually celebrate the new season?
Celebrate, yes, in a way, but usually by staying indoors. In fact, actually, you have lived in Megaros, so you know that the city turns not quite into a ghost town. There are people who go outside, but a lot less people do.
Really empty, yeah.
If I may, what do the horse lords usually do during this eve?
They douse their campfires in their personal tents, and you stay indoors and eat in the dark. Typically.
Altani definitely after the change in seasons, she definitely makes a pivot, like a step turn, and starts walking back immediately. She's like, oh shoot, I didn't realize how late it got. I was doing, my whole cool standing in these empty, dark streets, looking at the moon while you can like watch her breath exhale in front of her, and now she's like, oh no, okay, it just feels wrong to be outside now.
Go ahead and roll 2 checks simultaneously for me. One is a
Okay.
fortune check, and one is a perception check. Altani.
Okay. Sorry, I gotta pull it up.
I forgive you.
Rolling in D&D? Crazy.
Yeah.
Let's see.
As that's happening, Tamir is actually going to stay outside. He's seen a lot of change in the past few months, and you know, he is thinking about how much he's grown as a person. And while old him might have immediately gone inside for tradition's sake, he now desires to see what being outside during this holiday may bring.
All right.
For the fortune roll, do you want a D4 or a D6?
I want a D20.
Oh, D20. Okay. Ooh. Got a 2 on my fortune roll and a 15 on my perception roll. I don't like that. Can I roll my luck check again?
Do you have inspiration to spend? That's a trick question. I know you do. I was heading in the episode.
Oh. I do have.
Where I
didn't
gave
mark
it to
it.
you.
That's why. You know what? I'll use it. Yes.
Okay, go ahead and reroll your fortune check then.
Oh. No. It
Did
was
you
a
reroll?
5.
Oh, okay. I was like,
Not
worse,
much better.
but-
A little better, but I don't think enough to make enough of a difference.
You're walking, and the streets, as I said, are empty. The sky seems to dim, and your breath clouds in front of you. The cold bites at your fingers, and it seems to bleed through your pockets, even if you try to tuck them. But everything is generally quiet other than a soft breeze until you hear what sounds like scratching against the stone streets, and you hear the hoarse breathiness of what sounds like dogs, a lot of them. But it's a strange thing because you hear it and it sounds like there's a lot of them, and then it stops. The sound just ceases, and you turn quickly to look at the alleyway where you hear it from, and there's nothing there, and you begin to hear the scratching and the breath, the panting of dogs again, but on the other side of the street. And as you're walking, these sounds seem to follow you in the back alleys of these streets. And as you round a corner, just before you get back to Anya's house, you look and you glimpse the glowing red eyes of a hellhound in the nooks of the alleyways, just for a moment before they vanish.
As she passes Tamir on the porch, she like firmly pats a hand on his shoulder and is like, "Let's get at it. Let's go in. Come on."
Before you reach Tamir, as you round the corner and you start heading towards Anya's house, your pace is already quickened with your nerves, and just as you're turning to look towards the house, you hear a rah as a raven screeches in front of you. I assume making you jump, but that is up to you.
Definitely.
Uh,
Not much. She doesn't make any noise.
It peers
but
at you
she definitely-
curiously and tilts its head at you, but otherwise lingers more than you feel like a city bird should.
Now, I have a question for you. I don't know if you have an answer. Within the tribe, would we have any kind of superstitions or like
Absolutely.
feelings about ravens?
Well, generally superstitious for sure. About ravens, yeah. There is both omens for good and for ill in conjunction with ravens.
She definitely like is frozen in place and like blinking at it for a second and then kind of like comes to herself and gives a low bow to the raven and says, "My apologies for being out on such a night," and then goes to hurry past it into the house.
It continues to tilt its head at you, and there's a delay, but it seems like it nods. You clap Tamir on the shoulder, as you said. You're like, we should get inside. Does Tamir have a response to that?
He looks towards he notices the peculiar fear in Altani. And is kind of, he's intrigued by this. Also seeing the raven. He glances over to it and he asks a question. And he says, Do you bring wisdom?
To the raven.
Yeah.
The raven, you can hear the clack, 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 clack as it does its little hops and turns towards you. It looks at you, and it looks at Anya, and it looks at Nedrick. Go ahead and roll me a d4.
Okay,
Who?
I was gonna say I didn't know if I was back yet.
You.
I didn't know if I was back yet or not, but so because I didn't know if she was gonna see this happen or if someone was gonna tell her. But her upon
Oh yeah, no,
seeing,
you can see it.
okay. So then her upon seeing a raven, she kind of like, and she kind of whispers to Nedrick. She's like, "This could be a bad omen."
Yeah, hit me with the d4.
It's a 1.
The raven looks at you, at Anya, and Nedrick. It looks after Altani, who, as she walks inside. And then it darts into the sky, and it seems to disappear into the night briefly, before suddenly re-emerging from the darkness and clawing Nedrick across the face. He yelps in pain and tries to roll to the side, but
Hey,
he's
yo,
bleeding.
not my boy Nedrick.
Yeah.
Ooh. To that, I say, I guess no wisdom to be found here, as I begin ushering Nedrick into the house.
Hearing the commotion, Altani definitely like comes outside to scoop him up and hustle him inside.
It screeches, and its cries seem to turn to a cackling laugh as it disappears into the night once more.
Anya quickly, from either her bits and bobs she's got that she keeps on her, or she grows it quickly, creates like a bunch of plants of protection, like primrose and hawthorn, and the that her people view as protective. And she's like quickly like putting it all over the door of her house and like leaving it around. She's like, "Right." And then she goes and helps Nedrick by bringing him a healing balm.
As the protections go up on the door and you cross the threshold, you feel a difference in the air. And the sounds die down again. You hear not the crow, nor the dogs, nor anything at all within your home.
Does this world have a wild hunt like myth?
Depends on the pantheon, but absolutely yes.
Okay.
What's a hunt like?
A wild hunt like myth. I'll tell you later. But okay.
All right.
I guess I begin addressing Nedrick's wounds, asking Anya if she has any healing herbs.
Yeah, she's already begun to apply them. And go ahead and make a medicine check.
Me?
Yeah. And then while you roll that, is there anything else that you were hoping to do this evening?
No, I have a medicine check on.
Right here.
Oh, this. Okay.
Altani is definitely gonna like, once Nedrick is like situated and being cared for, she's definitely like wheeling around to Tamir and clapping him upside the head and being like, "Dude, I thought you would know better than to do anything but address a messenger with anything but the highest form of respect. You have no idea who it answers to. It could be a shape-shifted god. You don't know. You can't just go addressing it willy-nilly. I spoke to it only because I didn't want to offend it, and so I addressed its presence to like acknowledge it was there, and I was probably not where I was supposed to be. You pushed it too far."
One caveat to Altani's rant is that everybody knows, regardless of the culture, on Void Zeta, there is not a god, nor a dragon, nor a fairy to be found. Well, Fey Lord. Lesser Fey beings, surely, but...
Would that extend to a familiar of a god? Would we not know that?
Yeah, the servants of the gods definitely are far more likely to adhere to the same restrictions as they do. The gods' presence are rarely felt on Void Zeta. And when I say rarely,
Okay.
I mean you've heard a rumor once that somebody saw a god on Void Zeta, but it's probably not even true.
Okay, so then speech stays the same, minus it could be a god. The rest of it, you don't know who it answers to. You don't know whose messenger it could be. You don't speak like that to it. And you should know better.
Yes. But how else are we to learn if we don't ask?
Anya's like, when it's Raven, you usually don't want to know.
Thank you, Anya. Thank you for backing me up on this.
All of you gain a point of inspiration, and tell me how you pass the night. Do you stay up or do you sleep?
Wait,
I don't think Altani sleeps well.
I was
What's-
gonna say,
Yeah.
I definitely, I stick by, not like I don't crack the window open, but I do stay awake just below it, listening to the external sounds. perhaps lightly playing my instrument. Just kind of listening for anything that might be a problem.
Okay.
Also,
And he's
Go ahead.
what he's not telling Altani is that he's doing it to make her feel better. That he's staying up and trying to guard her and the group.
Make a performance check for me. And then Rachel, it sounded like you had a question.
well, I was gonna say, I already had an inspiration, and it looks like you can't add more than one.
That
So
is true.
I use it to re-roll the medicine check because I didn't do well.
Oh, perfect.
I wanted to roll my actual dice, or my actual die instead of the one online, so I had already done that, and I got 17 plus 3, so it's 20.
Excellent.
Because otherwise I got 11, which was sad.
Perfect.
And then I'll just inspiration.
Yes. And one of the mechanics that we use in Magterra is the spark. And the spark does allow you to have more than one inspiration point at a time.
I got a 3 on that performance. So I would like to flavor text it with it is actually clear that whatever presence is out there is intimidating to Tamir as well. He merely
is attempting to
he's
look brave.
he's merely attempting to look brave. But Tamir finds the unknown much scarier than the known.
In response to what Tamir's doing, Altani decides to, like, obviously she can see right through what you're doing and can tell that he is also freaked, and decides to let you play pretend. Basically, she's not gonna break the illusion for you, and she's like, you know what? If this is gonna make him feel better to try and make me feel better, I'll play along here.
Okay.
And I think she actually also sticks near the window. I feel like she does that thing that siblings do sometimes where she's like, well, you've already got the spot I wanted, so I guess I'll sit on the opposite side, just like a little bit miffed that you took the spot I wanted.
I like the idea that she maybe has her hand, unbeknownst to Tamir, resting on her weapon beside her.
Yeah, just got a hand on a knife or on her glaive next to her.
Yeah.
Just playing pretend along. Like, she pretends to go to sleep. She's definitely not fully asleep, but she does eventually pretend to sleep.
Okay. So I know you bombed your performance roll, but I like your roleplay explanation so much that I am going to actually have to say that as you pass the night with playing music, intimidated by the dark, it's your first time ever being out after dark on Void Zeta, and as you do, those tensions and emotions all bubble to the surface, infusing your music, and you compose what would later be called the Psalm of the Void.
I love it.
Anya's gonna try and get some sleep, but not after madly concocting some potions and charms of protection and just stocking up on things not to ward off, but to prepare for whatever the omen might mean or bring. And she, before either of them can get too comfortable, she makes protective necklaces of similar things she put by the door, and she's like putting them around their necks, and she's like, don't take this off for anything or else I'll kill you. Before whatever Raven is gonna bring can kill you first.
The night passes and the sun rises, and the sky is filled with clouds. Though they seem dark and stormy, there is no rain, very little humidity even, and no lightning. It is Void Zeta, and you can hear as people do actually start to go out. Some people are going to shop and stuff like that on this day. The streets are empty for what you're used to, but the odd person here or there can be found. Is there anything you'd like to do on Void Zeta? Now that night has passed?
Oh, so we start celebrating at nighttime, but it's not till the next day.
Yeah, that was Eve.
Got it.
Yeah, because Void Zeta is literally the entire 24 hours. It is called the day that is not. The
It's like
365th day.
Okay.
Islamic holiday that I forgot what it's called. Well, Anya's definitely gonna be wary, but she's probably gonna go out and about shopping for some snacks and things.
Yeah.
Find some good olives and cheese.
An interesting fact about Void Zeta is when people are talking about measures of time, they don't include this day. So, like, if you would ask someone yesterday, "Hey, I'll see you tomorrow," then they meant the day after.
Oh, okay.
Like they mean in 2 days or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, they do not acknowledge its existence.
Yeah, this day doesn't exist.
Why?
Okay.
Is it like the opposite of leap year?
Do we know? Or is it just kind of
Other than the myth of the void, no. Which is that there was 7 seasons, but then there was a day that was not.
okay?
There has been talk that it's a day of demons, certainly. But in any case, you go to the market, and the party goes with you, presumably,
Yeah.
rather than hang around. Okay.
Yeah, I think what I wanted. Here's the deal. It's the day that is not. I mean, technically, this is probably. Is it taboo to visit others on this day, or is it a day of a lot of socialization?
You absolutely have spent Void Zeta with other people back home. Whether or not that's normal here in Megaros is... Well, I gotta stop thinking like that. You don't know, but Anya does, so she can easily tell you. So Anya has experienced Void Zeta before. They are less likely to. It really depends on how it really depends on how devoutly they serve a god, whether or not certain traditions are observed. Most people out on these days just have less regard for the gods and their need to be protected by them.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
You exit your home, you go to the marketplace, you're shopping, and the shopping goes well. You get lots of good deals on plenty of groceries. Everything is heavily discounted right now, today.
Okay.
And you begin to work your way back home afterwards. Except you find that as you go down a street, a strange thing happens, as it's almost like the city is being mixed around like a Rubik's Cube, where you go down a street that you know connected to another street, but you ended up somewhere else.
Like
And you pass through a bridge, and as you cross the threshold of the archway that sits on the end of the bridge on your way back to your house, you have stepped outside the city gates and find yourself outside of Megaros. And The as you go to walk back into the city, the distance seems to stretch and stretch and stretch. It's almost like, it's hard to say that it feels like you're on a treadmill because you don't have a feeling of motion backwards. You're not traveling backwards. It's almost like the city is getting farther away.
Okay, I'm going to take a coin and I'm going to throw it ahead a good 10 feet and see if we can walk to it. Or
you
if
chuck the coin and it hits you in the back of the head. Like, right to you.
I think we should go the opposite way.
Anya's so mad. She's like, this is stupid. Why?
At the risk of getting hit by another coin, I'm gonna turn around and toss the same coin backwards.
Hits you in the back of the head.
Yeah, at this.
Anya's just like,
Well, you think of something.
she tries and flies up. She tries to fly vertically up to see if height changes her vantage point.
You're flying upwards, and disorientingly, you find yourself colliding with the ground.
Yeah, look who's an idiot now.
Altani smacks Tamir as she helps Anya stand back up and get righted on her feet.
Actually, I'm gonna retcon that. He doesn't say look who's the idiot now. He just laughs as she eats it.
Is this how I raised you to treat women, Tamir? She says as she helps Anya up to her feet.
I'm not really sure fairies are women.
She's like, in her mind, she's like, note to self, put poison ivy in his underwear.
Altani is confident in Anya's ways of being able to punish him for such a comment, and so she leaves it be. She just ignores him.
You hear a voice, but it sounds like it's speaking through water, all muffled and gargled. But you can make out what it says, as the voice says, "A foul presence. A foul presence, heroes. Flee before it."
I'm gonna immediately stop laughing and offer my hand also to Anya. As with my other hand, I'm gonna draw my sword.
Anya mutters under her breath, stupid raven.
The
Altani also has her weapon to hand now, although she actually has her bow in her hand, not her glaive.
After you hear the voice, a figure appears who's walking from Megaros to you. And he walks casually with his hands tucked in his belt. And he has an ominous aura about him. And he stares intently with predatorial eyes, or with a predatorial glare, but a smirk on his face. And he steps forward and reaches you quickly. And he says, "I heard about your exploits on the council. It was interesting, but I worry that you have not considered the correct decision of what you are to do."
Which is?
Have you considered helping fund a war effort? Have you considered campaigning deep into the sea of fire. Into Arahu.
At this, Tamir actually pipes up and says, I have considered the idea, but I believe it to be folly.
Sir, Altani tacks on the end.
His
for
face
him.
immediately distorts in anger, and his eyes grow volatilely red. He says, "Are you certain about that?" And you can hear the voice again that you heard before. Muffled and shallow. But it clearly says, "I'm coming. I am coming, heroes."
With that, Anya tries to stall, but make him not angry. She's just like, who are you?
Roll a d4.
I'm going to point my sword at him, and I'm going to say, yes. That's a d4. Okay. I'm going to say, you are no god. I know that for sure.
I got a 4.
Okay. Your boundless insolence. I am a god. And I am not like those foolish gods who fear the void. I am Savus, god of war.
He just palm smacks.
Bow, mortals. And he puts out his hand to you. Go ahead and make a strength saving throw.
Oof.
All of us.
All of you.
Oh, yeah.
What do you do? Is that a d20?
Yes.
At least
Yes.
I'm good at those.
I was gonna say, Anya, after he says this, she face palm smacks her forehead and she's like, stupid raven. She's like, ugh.
I got a 50.
17.
19.
19.
Why the heck do I have the lowest roll here? This is not fair.
I got a -1 too, so I had an 18 before that.
Anya and Altani, you slam into the ground. However, Tamir, you're able to brace yourself just barely in time, and while it does drive you down, you plant your fists and you're able to stay on one knee only, and you're able to peel your head upwards against the force pressing down on you. If you so choose, you can also just give into it.
Actually, I feel strongly enough about this. Could I potentially re-roll, or is it too late for that now?
Yeah, if you want to use a point of inspiration, you can resist it.
Oh wait, no, we're actually in this situation now. I should probably say that. Never mind.
So, I assume that you are wishing to stay upright, though, because you can voluntarily just
Fall.
go to the ground. Yeah.
No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be as defiant as I possibly can.
So you
And-
resist and you peel your head up to look at him in the eyes, and he says, "An arrogant one, aren't we?" There is something interesting about that. And he draws his weapon.
I'm going to say this. I'm going to say, I have never heard your name, but I'm sure my gods are older than you.
You can see as veins begin bulging. He is furious. And he says, "Is that so?" And you can see as he trembles with fury.
And I tag on to this. As I can see I'm getting under his skin, I say, and don't you know, I come from a raiding a raiding culture and does not raid precede war.
Altani is desperately trying to grab her glaive and get to her feet as he is stoking this confrontation.
You feel suddenly your hands are pressed against the ground, pushing yourself up, Tamir, and you feel suddenly something under your palm. And even though you can't, even though you can't see it currently, it feels like a bit of a fur. And as that feeling appears, your hand ignites with this brilliant gold flame, and pouring off of you in waves is this divine energy that causes the pressure on you to lessen. You can now stand up, the two of you, if you so choose.
Yes, stand up.
Yeah, the two of you.
Yeah, you too.
The two of you who hit the ground,
We're
Yeah.
down.
aka Anya and Altani.
I thought he was basically down, but just had his head up.
Oh,
well,
no. He was
He's on one
had
knee.
one leg under him, so he
Oh.
wasn't fully down.
Okay, yes.
And from the waves of fire appears Vespera, and she sweeps her hand across, and a ring of fire appears around you, and she says, "These mortals are under my protection. Save us." And all the anger seems to just drain, and he has this arrogant smirk. And he says, Vespera, bold, very bold for you to be here now, at this time. And she says, not as bold as you. Save us. You violate the edicts of the Edda. He says, perhaps it is better this way. Leave this place, Sebis. Leave these mortals be. And he backhands her right across the face. And she, in a blink, is in the dirt, a small crater around her. And she looks over at him, and you can see that she has defiance, she has anger, but also tears well up in the corner of her eyes, and she clutches her red cheek.
Oh, that's it. I'm going to charge.
Okay, roll
I'm
initiative.
with him.
Okay, here I go. Hey, that's a 22 on initiative.
Hot dang, when you said you were ready to go.
Dang it. Yeah, you were raring and ready. I got a 14.
I can shoot him with fire, so I don't have to charge.
But what is your initiative?
It's a long distance, I can't.
What's the point in taking fireball? if I'm gonna get...
I'm sorry, I missed Anya's initiative.
She got a 10 for initiative because you add your +1.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, he rolled like nothing on his initiative. He rolled a 4, so plus his bonus. So you all go before him. Here we go. Tamir, well, actually, before Tamir takes his turn, she, Vespera looks to you and she says, "Be careful, Savas. He is my champion." And the fire that you had before springs around you.
I could get close, or I could keep my distance and go crazy with the whip. Because this man is a dog.
But also, he was screwy with perception and moving things.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
So you're gonna whip yourself in the back of the head.
Yep. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna use my sword. These are fair points. Okay.
Oh man, what about my fireball?
Okay, that's a 33 to hit.
Dang. That's a hit.
Okay, so 19, and then I got a 35 to hit.
30. That is definitely a hit as well.
Okay. And it's going to be 18 damage as well.
Excellent. Okay. So you leap forward and you lay into him with your sword. He goes to parry, but with your newfound speed, he is too slow, and you crash into him. He stumbles back, and he strikes at you.
Okay.
He gets a 31 to hit.
Yep, that's gonna do me.
And
Why did you say that?
as he pushes you back, he brings his sword up from beneath in an upward slash and does 31 points of damage.
Okay. As I definitely dramatically spit some blood out of my mouth, taking this huge gash, I smile a little bit. And I say, man, you let a mortal land blows, as I wipe the blood off my face, just maintaining eye contact.
Excellent. Altani, what would you like to do?
So, I'm going to be using my glaive, and I am going to rush in. Is Tamir still standing right next to him then?
Yes.
I am going to rush in right next to Tamir and see if I can swing. I have 2 attacks. Okay, that's right.
Yes.
And 22?
Miss.
What? 22 is a miss and an 18. Okay. Then those are both misses. Either way, part of her goal is to try and like edge in so that she's like the one in his face and not Tamir.
She, Vespera says, Altani, no, it's too dangerous.
I'm not leaving you and my little brother to this mess by yourselves. What kind of older sister would I be?
Okay, Anya.
I'm gonna shoot a fireball, obviously.
Is it a firebolt or a fireball?
Firebolt.
Okay.
Same difference. Something with fire. Something cool. Okay. So 28.
Oh, that is a hit.
I hit that.
Yep.
And I gave 10 damage.
Excellent. So, unfortunately, gods have damage thresholds, and this particular god does not take damage unless if you can deal at least 20 points of damage in that.
In one go. Or no, wait. This.
Yeah,
That's 12.
unless if you have a divine blessing or some sort of greater power.
That's stupid.
I mean,
Yes.
it looked cool.
Yeah,
I
it,
was
it
gonna say-
connects with him and it bursts
was
on
gonna-
him, and
if it
he
was gonna come back and fight. Sorry, what?
it does hit him. It ignites, and he just brushes it off.
And he's like, her wings go down a little bit. She's like, "Aw." Look, my head, it looked so much cooler. I was thinking that if the like reality warping was still happening, that if it did come back around, she could just do this like sick backflip thing. I'm like,
Yeah, dodge the firebolt, make it hit him.
Would have been sick.
um, he backs up nonetheless, and he looks from Tamir to Vespera, and he says, "Are you sure you want to do this, Vespera?" With a smirk. And she stands up and she says, "You forget that I, Vespera, am one of the 13. And he chuckles and shakes his head and he says, "Yes. And would you really admit to them the shame?" And he bites the word, right? Like, almost like he's treating it like sarcasm or something. And he says, "A minor deity." And she glowers at him. But that's how he spends his turn. Vespera, she turns to you, Altani, and she says, "If not my blessing, seek out the blessing of another. But the gods are not likely to answer on Void's Edda." It is Tamir's turn as this god who has greatly offended your patron is before you. The thing is, you're not making much headway, even with the goddess's blessing.
Yeah. I'm going to, as Altani, and I think Altani would see. She is seeing behind Tamir that one of the hands that is off his offhand is somewhat trembling. It is clear she can tell that he is terrified.
You are.
Yeah. While he's putting on a really good show and a good front,
Inside, he's like,
he does know that he's standing before a god. And that is something to cause anxiety.
Understatement, bruv.
Yeah. I think I'm going to sheathe my sword, and I'm actually going to kneel. I'm going to kneel, and I'm actually going to start praying to my cultural gods.
okay, I think we nailed him. I was like, Anya's.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Okay. Roll me a d100, hold the roll, and also a religion check besides it.
Okay.
So roll those, keep them, and I'll get back to you.
Okay.
As you do this, Vespera says, "Si, save us. There's no need for this. We can work this out another time." And he says, "You're just scared because your power's diminished. Huh, Vespera?" And she says, "I'm curious why yours is not. What dark deals have you made, save us? Wouldn't you like to know?" Altani, you are up.
Altani, she fully whiffed it last time. She sees what Emir's doing, Is he praying out loud or is he praying to himself?
Oh no, he's praying out loud. His hope here is that, like,
More gods will come help.
I see. The thing is, due to the holiday, I know that it's not likely, but I have such deep respect that I'm hoping that, because my gods are so old and so kind of entwined with nature, that somehow some kind of influence can help us get away. But
Okay.
yes, out loud, but probably in our native tongue.
I drop my weapon. I was holding my glaive. I look up into the eyes of this god as Tamir begins praying. She reaches over and takes the hand that's trembling and then turns and reaches out her other hand towards Anya and also begins joining him in the same, like, plea to their gods in their native
Religion check
language.
in D100. And I'll get back to
Okay.
you on that.
For both of us? Can we
Yes.
aid each other because we're both doing it to the same
No.
person? Dang it.
Anya begins praying to herself.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, Anya's like annoyed with the two of you. She's like, not like that she thinks it's unwarranted because she gets it, but at the same time, she's fake and she doesn't bow down to people. She just causes mischief, so she's just like peeved with this person. She's a little intimidated because she's like, oh wow, like a big, tough, scary person, but she's too prideful to like back down. So for the sake of I guess being respectful and friendly, she does grab Tanya's hand, but she also continues to try and throw firebolts. She's like, I don't care if this isn't working. It makes me feel better.
Make an attack roll then, and we'll resolve those rolls.
Were we supposed to fully roll a religion check? Or was it add
Yes.
your religion? Okay. I got 15 on my religion check, and I got... Shoot, what did I get?
That's a hit. Rachel.
45. So 15 and 45, so 60.
Okay.
Okay, got
And
I
what
don't
did you
think
get?
that does it.
15 damage.
yeah.
I got a natural 20 on my religion history check. And it's completely natural because I don't even have a modifier.
And how about the D100?
71.
Okay.
Ooh. Jealous. Dang, dude. You're gonna have straight up 2 different gods sponsoring you. And they're gonna look at me and be like, we don't care about you.
Yeah.
I know you're a paladin, you worship us and everything, but like, or like, generally speaking, have like more like religious vibes, but like you, dude, we're doubling down.
Yeah. I feel you. I've never been a religious character, but I should say spiritual. Such a spiritual.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I would say more spiritual.
Okay. So you rolled 71 plus it was a nat 20, but what was the total score on it for the religion?
So sorry, say that again.
For your religion check was what in total? I know you rolled a nat 20, but what was the bonus and everything altogether?
There's no bonus.
Oh, okay. So it's just a flat 20.
Yeah.
Okay. Then you feel this like fiery presence, and it spreads through your body like wildfire. It's strangely familiar. However, you notice that you notice as this happens, you can see out of the corner of your eye that Vespera has this like betrayed, jealous look in her eyes. As she watches you as you do this, you can hear her. It's somewhat quiet, but in this pouty voice, she says, "I'm the one who came here to save you."
Anya to that is like, I know that. And like kind of looks down at you guys, kind of like
She gives you like a firm like nod.
Yeah, Altani is actually going to like fully elbow him in the ribs and be like, "Hey, yo, not cool, dude."
Just in the middle of this tense situation, everyone's taking a break to give him a hard time.
Hold on. But is this energy I'm getting from Vespera or not?
It is not. No, this is
what I
from
thought.
your god.
That's what I thought.
The thing is, the goddess has acknowledged your prayer. She is not giving you a blessing.
Okay.
Altani, on the other hand, you begin praying, but today is the day that is not. You are fervently praying, but you feel something go awry. And a voice says, "Child, I have heard your fervent cries to the god of fire. I am he. I am he."
I'm going to.
Wait, is it the bad guy talking to you? Like he's like
No,
you're getting...
it is not.
That's
You feel an ominous presence, and a dark shroud begins to fall over all of you. And
Altani
as this
immediately
happens-
stops praying and lets go of both of their hands to
I'm going
snatch
to-
her glaive up off the floor again.
I'm actually going to basically as I stand up, can I roll to push them back?
Push who back?
Both Anya and Altani.
No, you'd have to choose one or the other.
Okay, it's Altani.
Push me anywhere.
Okay. Yeah. The question is, Lissa, are you going to choose to fail the roll or not?
No. You gotta contest me on that.
Then you roll a strength saving throw.
Okay, what do I roll?
Nothing.
Cool.
It comes down to her strength saving throw. In 2014, it would have been a contested roll, but now it's a saving throw.
Okay.
I think your DC should be somewhere in there.
I
on the
rolled a
main page.
15.
A 15, I would guess that would be enough to do it.
Yeah, I kind of rolled low.
Yeah, so it's 8 plus the strength modifier plus proficiency. Yeah, to make the DC. So that means that Tamir's DC for shoving is going to be 10. So you
Oh,
crush
okay,
it.
so easy money.
Yeah, so you go to shove her back, and she's like, worried about this voice. Like you can see visible fear, and then just as you start shoving, she's like, "Hey!" and immediately like shoves you back. Almost.
And I'm going to draw my sword.
Again.
Yeah, and I'm going to charge at this god.
You'll have to wait on that. So,
Okay.
this voice, again, not from the god, says, "I have heard your prayers. What are you offering?"
If you let my sister out of here, if you let my sister and my friend and my patron god Vespera go, if you allow them to leave here without being harmed, I offer you my soul.
Whoa! Altani fully starts like yelling over him. Don't listen to him. He's not doing anything. We'll be fine. He doesn't need anything from you. You are clearly not who I was calling to.
Vespera says very similar things at the exact same time. Like, she's jumping on it just like you are, where she's like, no!
And Anya's like so quick to throw away your soul.
I just want everyone here to understand. Tamir doesn't understand the worth of a soul.
I was going to say, the thing is, despite this, the voice says, done. And
No!
the god has this wide look in his eyes as this happens, and fire begins blooming around you. You immediately feel the presence of, oh goodness, I'm blanking on the name of the primordial fire that you worship, but you immediately feel her presence recede. As I said, this blooming fire, and for a second you feel pulled under, and you can see a hellscape before you. Thank you so much for joining us for Toss the Dice. We hope you enjoyed the episode, and we'll see you next time.